Ever felt like your dreams are out of reach because you're broke? What if I told you that being broke isn't a barrier, but your secret weapon? Daymond John, the visionary behind FUBU and Shark Tank, proves that starting with nothing can be the greatest advantage of all. Today, we're diving into his groundbreaking book, The Power of Broke, to uncover how scarcity can fuel your success. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see your lack as your greatest asset. Let's get into it. Setting the stage. Who is Daymond John? Daymond John wasn't always the celebrated entrepreneur and TV star we know today. He grew up in Queens, New York, in a working-class family, surrounded by modest means but rich in ambition. This background is key because it instilled in him the drive to overcome limitations with creativity and persistence. His first entrepreneurial venture began in the most unassuming of settings, his mother's living room. Armed with just a sewing machine, he crafted hats and sold them on the streets. The scene paints a powerful image of grassroots hustle. No investors, no storefront, just raw determination. From $40 to a global brand. What makes Daymond's story stand out is the audacity to start FUBU with only $40. Most people might consider that amount insignificant or an impossible starting point. But for Daymond, it was the seed of his empire. This detail highlights that resourcefulness and drive often trump resources. Instead of being overwhelmed by his financial constraints, Daymond embraced them. He realized that having little to lose allowed him to take fearless, bold steps toward his goals. This realization laid the groundwork for his transformative philosophy, the power of broke, the power of hunger. When you're broke, you're forced to think differently. Daymond's hunger and urgency gave him a laser-sharp focus, enabling him to outwork competitors with more resources. His journey proves that when you strip away the safety nets, you discover strength and resourcefulness you didn't know you had. The takeaway for the audience. This segment concludes by offering a key insight for the audience. Starting from scratch isn't a disadvantage, it's an opportunity. Without excess resources, you're compelled to dig deep, innovate, and hustle in ways others might not. It challenges viewers to reframe their circumstances, seeing scarcity as a tool for growth rather than a limitation. By unpacking this foundational story, the audience is primed to explore the broader lessons Daymond shares in The Power of Broke. The power of creativity. Being broke forces you to think outside the box, and for Daymond, that was his first superpower. Early on, he couldn't afford traditional advertising for FUBU. So, what did he do? He turned to guerrilla marketing. Daymond got rappers like LL Cool J to wear his clothes for free. These artists became walking advertisements, catapulting FUBU into the spotlight without a single billboard or TV ad. The brand gained traction, not through money, but through ingenuity. Think about this. Can't afford to hire a social media manager. Learn the basics in DIY. No budget for fancy campaigns? Tap into collaborations, bartering, or storytelling to get your message out. Key lesson: constraints fuel creativity. The next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, how can I solve this problem without spending money? The answer might surprise you. The hustler's mindset. Daymond's hustle is legendary. While building FUBU, he didn't have the luxury of dedicating all his time to the business. He juggled multiple jobs, selling clothes during the day, working at Red Lobster by night, to keep his dream alive. He shares how being broke sharpened his focus. Every dollar mattered, so every decision had to count. This do-or-die mentality drove him to work harder and smarter than those with more resources. Story spotlight. When FUBU needed manufacturing space, Daymond didn't rush to rent a costly factory. Instead, he transformed his mom's house into a mini production line, complete with sewing machines and fabric rolls taking over every room. Challenge for you. Are you waiting for perfect conditions to start your dream project? Stop. The perfect time is right now. Use what you have and hustle like your life depends on it, because it does. Proof from The Power of Broke. Daymond's journey is inspiring, but he's not the only one. The Power of Broke features other success stories that prove how scarcity can lead to greatness. Mosiah Bridges, a young entrepreneur, started a bow tie business with zero funding. His brand caught fire through creativity and relentless hard work. Under Armour. Kevin Plank launched his billion-dollar brand from his grandmother's basement. He didn't have a marketing budget, so he relied on word of mouth and grassroots efforts. The common thread? These entrepreneurs didn't wait for a big break or a windfall. They used whatever resources they had, however small, to build momentum. Key insight: success doesn't come from abundance. It comes from resourcefulness. So, stop focusing on what you lack. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do right now with what I have? Action steps for you. Let's make the power of broke a practical tool in your life. Here are 3 actionable strategies to start right now, no matter where you are. Start small, scale smart. Too many people wait for the perfect moment or dream of millions of dollars in startup capital before beginning. But Daymond's story teaches us that the real power lies in starting with what you have. When he launched FUBU, he didn't have a sprawling factory or $1 million ad campaign. He had $40, some fabric, and sheer determination. Your move: look around and evaluate what you already have. Want to start a business? Begin with resources already at your disposal. For instance, if you're an aspiring content creator, use your smartphone to start filming instead of waiting to afford professional equipment. Over time, as you gain traction, you can scale your efforts smartly. Why this works: starting small keeps you focused. You're less likely to waste money or energy on things that don't matter. Instead, you'll zero in on what's truly important, creating value and solving problems. 2. Leverage relationships and creativity. When resources are tight, your network and creativity become your most valuable assets. Daymond didn't have a massive budget for FUBU's marketing, but he did have connections with artists and a knack for thinking outside the box. By getting rappers like LL Cool J to wear his clothes, he turned them into brand ambassadors for free. Your move: think about your connections and skills. Who can you collaborate with to amplify your efforts? Perhaps you can trade services. A photographer might need a writer, a designer could need marketing help, or use social media creatively. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok offer endless ways to share your message authentically without breaking the bank. The real secret: creativity thrives under pressure. Constraints force you to find new solutions and unconventional paths to success. Don't see them as barriers. Embrace them as opportunities to stand out. 3. Embrace the grind. Daymond's story is a testament to relentless hustle. While he was building FUBU, he worked multiple jobs, including bussing tables at Red Lobster, to keep the lights on. He didn't let exhaustion or setbacks derail him. He stayed focused on his goal. Your move: ask yourself, are you truly giving your dream 100%? If not, it's time to reevaluate your efforts. Identify areas where you can hustle harder, whether it's dedicating more time to your passion or finding creative ways to stretch your resources. The reality check: success doesn't come overnight. It requires dedication, sacrifice, and resilience. Every failure and obstacle is a lesson, bringing you one step closer to your ultimate goal. Remember, the grind is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Bring it home. The Power of Broke isn't just a book. It's a manifesto for turning limitations into opportunities. It proves that you don't need money to achieve greatness. You need creativity, resourcefulness, and an unshakable belief in yourself. So the question is, what are you going to do with your broke today? Will you let it stop you, or will you let it fuel your success? Let's start a conversation. What's one step you'll take today to turn your obstacles into opportunities? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown inspiring, don't forget to like this video to show your support. Subscribe to the Mansa Musa Mindset YouTube channel for more life-changing insights. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for daily motivation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, your dreams are bigger than your excuses. Let's go make them happen.